Okay, welcome to this first video on how to produce state matrices using GeoGebra. The first thing I want to mention is the three different views that you can see on your screen now. We've got the algebra view here on the left, the graphics view here in the middle, which we don't really need for this video, and the spreadsheet view here. If you don't see these and you want to see these, you need to go to view up here and make sure they're selected. We're mainly going to be concentrating on the algebra view and the spreadsheet view. As you can see in the spreadsheet view, I've already input the matrices, the state matrix here and the transition matrix here, and they're the same ones as on the task sheet. But at the moment, even though they're typed into these cells, GeoGebra doesn't actually know their matrices. So that's the first thing we need to do. We need to tell it that these are matrices. So we select this state matrix here, right click, and then go create matrix. And you can see it appears over here in the algebra view. Now we want to call that X so that it's consistent with the task sheet. So rename and then X. I just right clicked and then went to rename. I'm going to do that with the transition matrix. So select, right click, create the matrix. It appears over in the algebra view, which tells us it's worked. Then right click, rename, and this is my transition matrix, so T I'm going to call this one. So there's our two matrices. Okay, now the next thing is we want to produce more state matrices for each turn. So after turn 1, turn 2, so on, and we're going to do 100 state matrices. We're going to pick two columns, and I'm going to pick column J and column K. So I'm going to put the turn number in this column and the state matrix in this column. Okay, the turn number is simply to help us see what's happening on each turn. I'm only really concentrating on these, so I'm just going to spread the screen out like this, just for this video. Okay, so the turn number here, we're going to go 0, 1, 2, etc. Except we don't want to go all the way down to 100. So in this column, I'm going to type equals, click on the one above, and then go +1. So this cell here has actually got a formula in it. So I'm going to mouse over the little blue square and drag that down, very similar to a spreadsheet. Now I need to get 100 numbers, so I think I need to go down to 102, in fact, 102nd row. Just check. Yep, that's worked there. Okay, back up to the top. And now we'll do our state matrix. Now, our initial state matrix needs to go in here because we haven't had any turns, so we're just at the initial state. So we'll type equals an X, which should just come up with this matrix. So press enter. There it is over there. I've made myself some space here because some of the matrices will be much bigger, as you'll see in a minute. In this cell here, I'm going to type equals X. No, I'm not. I'm going to type equals, I'm going to click in the cell above, then I'm going to times it by t. I nearly fell into the trap. I was going to type equals x times t squared, which will work, but is really inefficient. For some reason, the computer will work really slowly. It will not work them out very quickly at all. So this is going to work better by selecting the cell above and timesing it by t. Press enter, and that's the state matrix after one turn. And then we can use our fill down technique. Just misclick there. Try again. Third time I've asked him, maybe. Okay, so I want it down to there. And we should have now 100 terms. Okay. Now, as you see, as you go down the columns here, I've got quite a lot of detail. You might not see this like this. You need to check that your rounding is correct. So I go here, view, options, rounding. Yours is probably set on 2 decimal places, so you only see this. And of course, we haven't got as much accuracy. These are all 0, correct to 2 decimal places. I'm going to suggest that the rounding does need to set to be at least 5 decimal places, but you might choose a few more. Okay, that's the end of the first video. So, see you later.